Alright guys, this is going to be a boring video. This video is only for people who really want to know the truth. This is the most important video, part 1 of the series of the most important information that you are ever going to learn. If they don't take this video down, we're blessed. But this is basically the truth of what is happening right now. If you're going through gang stalking or anything like that, this is why. We'll start off right here. Nazi mind control. Amidst the subtle cerebral circumvention of the gullible populace through a multitude of manipulated mediums lies one of the most diabolical atrocities perpetrated upon a segment of the human race, a form of systematic mind control which has permeated every aspect of society for almost 50 years. To objectively ascertain the following, one may need to re-examine preconceived ideologies relating to the dualistic nature of mankind. Resolving the philosophical question of whether we are inherently good or inherently evil is tantamount in shaping our perception of reality, specifically the spiritual variable within the equation of life. This exposition is substantiated by declassified U.S. government documents, individuals formerly connected to the U.S. intelligence communities, historical writings, researchers knowledgeable in mind control, publications from mental health practitioners, and interviews taken from survivors unwittingly subjected to a highly complex form of trauma-based mind control known as monarch programming. A word of caution for any survivors of intensively systematic mind control and or satanic ritual abuse or some form of ritualized abuse. There are numerous triggers in this article. It is therefore recommended not to read it unless appropriate support systems are in place or if you have a thoroughly reintegrated personality. A brief history of control. The mystery religions of ancient Egypt, Greece, India, and Babylon helped lay the foundation for occultism, meaning hidden knowledge. One of the earliest writings giving reference to the occultism is the Egyptian Book of the Dead. That's a key word, guys. Look up the Egyptian Book of the Dead if you want to know some of the weird rituals they're into. A compilation of rituals explicitly describing methods of torture and intimidation to create trauma, the use of potions or drugs, and the casting of spells or hypnotism, ultimately resulting in the total enslavement of the initiate. These have been the main ingredients for a part of occultism known as Satanism throughout the ages. During the 13th century, the Roman Catholic Church increased and solidified its dominion throughout Europe with the infamous Inquisition. Satanism survived this period of persecution, deeply entrenching itself under the veil of various esoteric groups. Esoteric groups like Freemasonry, basically. In 1776, a Bavarian Jesuit by the name of Adam Weishaupt was commissioned by the House of Rothschild to centralize the power base of the mystery religions into what is commonly known as the Illuminati, meaning enlightened ones. This was an amalgamation of a powerful occultic bloodlines, elite secret societies, and influential Masonic fraternities with the desire to construct the framework for a new world order. The outward goal of this utopia was to bring forth universal happiness to the human race. However, their underlying intention was to gradually increase control over the masses, thus becoming masters of the planet. The Anglo Alliance. By the 19th century, Great Britain and Germany were recognized as the primary geographic areas of Illuminati control. Oh, big surprise, Germany, huh? It then should be of little surprise to know the first work in behavioral science, basically sociology and psychology and psychiatry, all that stuff. Research was established in England in 1882, while much of the early medical and psychiatric techniques involved in mind control were pioneered at the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute in Germany during Nazi reign. The Tavistock Institute of Human Relations was set up in London in 1921 to study the breaking point of humans. Kurt Lewin, a German psychologist, became the director of the Tavistock Institute in 1932. About the same time, Nazi Germany was increasing its research into neuropsychology, parapsychology, and multi-generational occultism. Parapsychology is the paranormal aspects of psychological phenomena, right? So basically, one belief that the occult has is that if you beat trauma into a person or induce intense psychological trauma into somebody, it could invoke spiritual prowess or powers. Look it up. Interestingly, a progressive exchange of scientific ideas was taking place between England and Germany, most notably in the field of eugenics, the movement devoted to improving the human species through the control of hereditary factors of mating. The nefariously enigmatic union between the two countries was bonded, partly through the Order of the Golden Dawn, a secret society which consisted of many high-ranking officials in the Nazi Party and British aristocracy. Top SS Nazi officer Heinrich Himmler was in charge of a scientific project called Lebersborn. I don't know German, my bad. Which included selective breeding and adoption of children. Selective breeding and adoption of children, a peculiar large number of twins among them. The purpose of the program was to create a super race who would have total allegiance to the cause of the Third Reich, or the New World Order. Much of the preliminary examination concerning genetic engineering and behavior modification was conducted by Joseph Mengele at Auschwitz. You hear this? Where he coldly analyzed the effects of trauma bonding, eye coloring, and twinning upon his victims. Beside the insidious surgical experimentation performed at the concentration camps, some of the children were subjected to massive amounts of electroshock. Sadly, many of them did not survive the brutality. Concurrently, brainwashing was carried out on inmates at Dachau, who were placed under hypnosis and given the hallucinogenic drug mescaline. During the war, parallel behavioral research was led by Dr. George Estabrooks of Colgate University. His involvement with the Army, CID, FBI, and other agencies remains shrouded in secrecy. However, Estabrooks would occasionally slip and discuss his work involving the creation of hypno-program couriers, and hypnotically induced split personalities. Now, we're going to pause this video now and go look at something else. Remember that keyword, the Order of the Golden Dawn? Let's see, what even is that, right? It sounds pretty crazy, right? Hold on, if I can type. Let's check it out. The Order of the Golden Dawn refers to the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, a late 19th century secret society focused on the study and practice of occult hermeticism and metaphysics, including practices like theurgy and spiritual development. It was particularly popular in Great Britain and the Nazis, of course they don't say that, and involved the study of Kabbalah, alchemy, astrology, and tarot. Key points about the Golden Dawn. Full name, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Focus, occult practices including Hermeticism, Kabbalah, alchemy, astrology, and tarot. Notable members, William Butler Yeats, Samuel Liddell, MacGregor Mathers, Arthur, late 19th century to early 20th century. Let's go even deeper. So this is their sigil right here. And if we can we zoom in on that? Well, there you go. There you got the satanic pentagram. You know what I'm saying? Look, check this out. You got the rosy cross in the middle. You got the triangle, the pyramid with the upside down cross right there. You got the eye, the all-seeing eye in the middle of this Jewish star, Star of David. You got all the genders. You got both of the genders right there, and a gender with devil horns. What else you got? You should look into some of these symbols, right? Crazy, right? Now let's go even deeper. Cipher manuscripts. The Secret Chiefs, Golden Age. Look at this. Just look at this. Can you see it? It's basically a triangle. Look, there you go. Now you can see it. It's a triangle with a cross on the top, right? With the sun in the middle above the waves. If you know, you know. Now, back to the thing. After World War II, the U.S. Department of Defense secretly imported many of the top German Nazi and Italian fascist scientists and spies into the United States via South America and the Vatican. The code name for this operation was Project Paperclip. One of the more prominent finds for the U.S. was German General Reinhard Gehlen, Hitler's chief of intelligence against Russia. Upon arriving in Washington, D.C. in 1945, Gehlen met extensively with President Truman, General William Wild Bill Donovan, director of the Office of Strategic Services, OSS, and Allen Dulles, who would later become the stalwart head of the CIA. The objective of their brainstorming sessions was to reorganize the nominal American intelligence operation, transforming it into a highly efficient covert organization. The culmination of their efforts produced the Central Intelligence Group in 1946, renamed the Central Intelligence Agency in 1947. Right? So basically the CIA was created by Nazis, just like NASA. Wake up. Reinhard Gehlen also had profound influence in helping to create the National Security Council, from which the National Security Act of 1947 was derived. The particular piece of legislation was implemented to protect an unconscionable number of illegal government activities, including clandestine mind control programs. Which you guys really don't think they just quit, right? No, they've been doing it ever since we were young. It's going on right now on every single one of us. And until it affects you directly, you will not care. But If you're reading this, then there's something about you that is good, you know. The evolution of MK Ultra. Everybody knows what MK Ultra is, but what you're about to find out in the next couple parts is that MK Ultra was declassified only so that they could distract us from what is really going on, which is Project Monarch. And that's going to be part 2. If you guys want a part 2 and you really want to know the truth of what's happening to you, then let me know.